Well, hello, English 111 students. This is Dr. Mark Tinsley, and this is it. This is our last lecture, our final week of the course. And I just want to say right up front that I have been very impressed with with my English 111 classes this semester. You all have been very good writers on the whole as classes. And I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't. It's been a wonderful semester. I wish I could have gotten to know you face to face, but that was not in the cards for this semester because of the coronavirus and whatnot. But hey, we have finished a semester. We've done it successfully in an online format, and I hope you are proud of yourself. I hope you see what you've done because you have done something rather extraordinary. We have taken a residential course, put it online, and done it. Now we've looked at rough drafts. We've turned in final papers. We've taken quizzes. We've listened to lectures, and we've done all of that through the medium of online technology. So good job, way to go. This week we're finishing things up. We still have some things to finish, so don't let your guard down yet, right? This week, I'm going to talk very briefly today about media. This is going to be an extremely short lecture. You should read chapter 16 in your textbook this week and turn in your final draft of essay number 4. Now, I have been saying up to this point that you could turn that in, that you should turn that in by Wednesday, December 16th. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and give you till Friday. But I need your papers by Friday, December 18th at the latest. If you want to turn them in by the 16th, that's great. Go ahead and do that. I cannot accept papers after Friday, December 18th because I got to have time to grade them and get those final grades posted over the weekend. Okay, so get me that final essay, essay number 4, by this Friday, December 18th. And then that'll be it, folks. Once that final essay is turned in, you are done. Make sure you go back, though, and look at any quizzes. You should have 8 quiz grades. You should have 3 essay grades up to this point, essays 1, 2, and 3. Make sure you've done all of those things. If you haven't, particularly the quizzes, go back and take those quizzes. They're still up and open for you to take. Please maximize your grades. If you haven't turned in papers up to this point, you can still turn a paper in. You're not going to get very many points for the papers at this point, except for essay 4. Essay 4 is the one that's due now. But if you haven't turned in essays 1, 2, and or 3, I'll still let you turn them in, but you're just not going to get very many points for them, okay? I hope you understand that. It's just the nature of a class like this and being fair to your classmates. I can give you a few points so that you don't get an absolute 0, but at this point, they're so late that it's not going to be much I can do. You may also have some grades that things I've not graded yet for whatever reason. Maybe a rough draft out there that I need to give you points for, extra credit points for, or maybe an essay out there that you turned in late that I haven't graded yet. I will get to all of those things before I post your final grades. If I haven't gotten to grading an essay that you turned in late, it's because I didn't, you didn't contact me to tell me you turned it in. Just as a note for the future, as you go into your other classes, if you ever turn in anything late, make sure you contact your professor and let them know that you've turned it in. Otherwise, they might not know it's been turned in. Because once we grade through a set of papers, we move on. And so just make sure that you're communicating well with your professors, okay? All right, so that's it, right? By December 18th, Friday, turn in essay number 4, and that will be our course. All right, let's talk about media. I just want to talk about it briefly, very briefly. We said one of our things that we want to do in this class is talk about critical thinking. And so knowing how to handle media is one way that we apply our critical thinking skills. Now, there's traditional media sources out there, media sources that have been around for a long time. Newspapers, magazines, TV news programs, radio journals, flyers and billboards, town hall meetings, speeches, debates, all these things, most of which have been around for decades, sometimes for generations. These are our traditional media sources, the way we communicate in mass media environments. But what are some of the media sources that we have in our contemporary world? Things that we've added, say, in the last decade or two. All the traditional media sources are still around, but now we have websites. And websites, in the World Wide Web and the internet are huge sources of media these days, as you all well know. Online databases, which we've been looking at in this class through our library website, online databases are huge sources of media. Blogs, we all know about blogs and other social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Reddit, Flickr, Pinterest, Yelp, YouTube. I mean, the list goes on and on. And many of these things you all use on a daily basis. These are media sources. And they are things that where we consume media, right? Wikipedia and other wiki sites, streaming and recorded videos, like, for example, again, YouTube. The question is, how do we evaluate contemporary media? Again, this is going to be a quick lecture. And some of this stuff we've talked about before, but when you go on to contemporary media, you go on a social website, you go on a blog, you go onto a website, what are the things that we want to look at? We want, first of all, and we've talked about some of these in other lectures as well, but consider the source or the author, right? We always want to consider who wrote this and what is that person's credentials? What is that person's experience? What is that person's credibility? Right? So consider the source. If the author doesn't have credibility, then maybe the source isn't good. If the author does have credibility, maybe it's something that we can listen to and consider. Consider the URL, right? Are we listening? I mean, we've talked about this stuff before. Are we looking at .edu, .gov, or are we looking at .com and .org sites? It matters, doesn't it? .edu, .mil, .gov. These are more reputable sites on the whole than .com, .org sites, right? Consider any biases the site might have or that the author might have. Consider the tone. Is it a very critical site? Is it kind of over the top? Very condemnatory, or is it a balanced tone? If it's balanced, maybe it's something with a little bit more credibility, something that I can listen to. If it's looking at things from both sides, that's a little more credible. It's something that I can listen to. Consider the quality of the site or the social media site, website, social media site, blog. Is it of good quality, good grammar syntax, good images, or does it look like a 3-year-old built it? That makes a difference, doesn't it? Consider the other people that are part of this website or social media site, members, bloggers, participants. Are these people of credibility and honor, people that you would like to emulate your life after? If they are, maybe that's a site you want to go after, something you want to follow. If not, maybe reconsider, right? So, again, things that we've all talked about many times over, so I'm not going to belabor the point. You get the idea. Critically analyze your social media. Media, we can consume media. We consume media every single day, but we need to consume it with a critical eye. Otherwise, we can be led astray. Well, folks, that's it. I'm not going to lecture you anymore. Our semester is pretty much over. Once you've turned in essay number 4, you've made sure all your quizzes are in, all your other assignments are in, then you're done. And at this point, it'll just be me grading your final essay and getting your final grade posted. I want you to know that it's been a pleasure being your professor this semester and getting to know some of you via telephone calls and emails and whatnot. If ever I can do anything for you outside of this class, if I can ever be of assistance with in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always available via email particularly, but you do have my text and phone number, and I would be more than willing to help you in any way that I can as a student at Central Virginia Community College, and to help you have the best educational experience that you can have in higher education, particularly at our community college. Okay, it's been wonderful. Thank you. Please don't forget to get this final essay done by December the 18th, Friday. And once you've done that again, you are done. Have a wonderful remainder of your week. Happy holidays. I hope that you get signed up for your classes in the spring and that we see you back then. All right? Have a great rest of your year. Take care.